I'm in beautiful Miami Beach, Florida. And if we're just meeting, my name is Ben Azadi. I'm the best-selling author of Keto Flex. I am the founder of Keto Kamp. Our mission here at Keto Kamp is to inspire, is to educate, is to wake up a billion people, to let a billion people know, hey, if you treat your health casually, you will end up a casualty. Don't become another statistic. Responsibility is where it starts. So what is up, everybody? Good to be with you today. I'm super grateful and excited to be reviewing all your questions and answering your questions. So here's what I want for you to do for those joining on the TikTok, the Instagram, the YouTube, LinkedIn, the Facebook, the Twitter, the Twitch, and whatever other platforms we're streaming on. We're streaming on a whole bunch all at once. I'm going to be reviewing all of your questions right now. And in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to do my best to answer as many questions as possible, give you some clear and concise coaching so we can maximize your health and your healing capabilities. Your human body is built to heal itself. If you're familiar with my work, you know all about this concept called the innate intelligence. That is the wisdom within your amazing, incredible, impeccable human body. The 3 steps to healing your amazing human body and reversing conditions like type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance and autoimmune disease and cancer and obesity. Only 3 steps. These are easy on paper, but harder when you actually take action with them. So here are the 3 steps, and I'm going to review your questions. Number 1, identify the interference. It's usually more than one thing. It's interferences. First step. Number 2, work on removing the interference. And that's exactly what we teach our Keto Kamp Academy students. So number 1, identify the interference. Number 2, work on removing the interference. And number 3, allow your incredible body and innate intelligence to go to work and heal your body. That's how it works. So let's get to your questions. I'm going to start with Instagram, and then I'll get to the other platforms. I see Coach Becky in the house. Coach Becky, she's a coach for us here at the Keto Kamp Academy. She serves the Keto Kamp Academy students, and she's always live with us. Good to see you, Coach Becky. I see Keto Fine AF. I love the name. I see Christina in Greece. Alina, who's the COO, amazing coach, part of the Keto Kamp program and company. And I see Elizabeth and Catherine. I see some Keto Kamp Academy students. So let's see what questions. Here we go. Lyrically says, what is better, erythritol or stevia? Okay, both are acceptable sugar substitutes. Erythritol is a sugar alcohol. What was that? Oh, that was my dog. Sorry. He made a noise. Erythritol is a sugar alcohol, which can be okay, but here's the problem with the erythritol and other sugar alcohols. If you have something called SIBO, which is small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, and a lot of people do, it actually could cause a flare-up and actually could cause you to bloat. So erythritol might be okay for me, but somebody who has SIBO might not be good for that person. So do you get bloating and gas when you have a sugar alcohol? If the answer is no, then that's totally fine. Stevia is another great option. Stevia is actually a plant, and it's a sweetener, and it's fantastic. And it's also much, much better than sucralose and aspartame, much, much better than sugar. Stevia is acceptable. So which one is better? It's going to be dependent on you. Either one is acceptable. I also like monk fruit, xylitol. Xylitol is another sugar alcohol. And those are good options for you. So good question, and good to see you on here, Gail, as usual. How important is it to monitor GKI? And can vegans, okay, then I'll get to the vegan question. How important is it to monitor GKI? So if you're not familiar with GKI, GKI stands for glucose ketone index. Glucose ketone index. It's a cool metric. You know, it's more important to monitor GKI if you're using keto for more of a nutritional therapy. For example, somebody who has epileptic seizures and they're doing keto to put their seizures at bay. They really want to pay attention to their GKI scores and make sure they're hitting their numbers to stay in that zone so they don't get a seizure. Another example would be somebody who is doing a long fast for cancer prevention or for cancer if they currently have cancer that has metastasized. A lot of people do longer fast. So this is called block fasting, 3, 5, 7 days. I've done a 5-day fast. That's another area, another way, another time that you want to look at GKI to make sure you're hitting this maximum autophagy ratio. Outside of that, it's not that important. We focus on a different protocol and ratio. What I teach the Keto Kamp Academy students is to look at if your goal is to be in ketosis, a good sweet spot for blood ketones is 0.8 to 2.8 beta hydroxybutyrate, which is what they're testing, BHB. That's where a lot of people feel really good. So 0.8 to 2.8, and then your fasting glucose somewhere between 70 and 90. And then we look at kind of postprandial glucose and all that. We like looking at that versus just general GKI. I think GKI is a great tool. I love that they have it, but it's more useful for those who are doing keto for therapeutic benefit, like seizures or a long fast to hit max autophagy. I hope that answers your question. Another question here from Isha about vegans ever gaining metabolic health. Can vegans ever gain metabolic health? I have no issue with the vegan diet, plant-based diet, short term. My issue is with long-term plant-based diets. Not only that, it's an issue to eat only plants and vegetables and no animal-based protein for a long time. That's a big issue because you're going to starve your brain, your hormones with nutrients it really needs to thrive. And guess what? Your genetics and your stress bucket will determine how long you can do vegan before you really hit some serious health issues. But the other problem with the vegan diet as it relates to metabolic health is that these plant-based burgers, they're loaded with seed oils. Perfect example for you. Look at the ingredients in the Beyond Burger and look it up on Google. Actually, let me actually do this with you right now. So let me share my screen and then I'll read it with you. So Chrome tab. Actually, I need to open up a new one. So 1 second. Let's look at the ingredients of the Beyond Burger together. So if we type in Beyond Burger ingredients, we could find a list. And their website is beyondmeat.com. They do really good at marketing. Don't fall for their great marketing. These are the most inflammatory frankenfoods that you could ever eat. They're not real. This is not real food. Okay, here are the ingredients. Water. Okay, cool. Pea protein. Expeller pressed canola oil. Refined coconut oil. We love coconut oil, but not necessarily refined. We like unrefined coconut oil. But canola oil, it's one of the most inflammatory food-like substances you can ever put in your body. This is a high concentration of linoleic acid, omega-6, which is a polyunsaturated fat. This will cause more inflammation in your body than sugar, processed meat, and some experts say smoking. Okay, but let's continue on here. Natural flavors. Where does that come from? Rice protein. You want to talk about a glucose spike? Cacao butter, cellulose, a little bit of some potato starch. Let's get more of a glucose spike. Sodium chloride, beet juice color, apple extract, pomegranate concentrate, sunflower lecithin, vinegar, lemon juice concentrate, vitamins and minerals, zinc sulfate, and on and on and on. Okay, now let's look at the ingredients of grass-fed beef. Grass-fed beef ingredients, okay? I don't even need to look this up because I know what it's going to say. Grass-fed beef ingredients. Simple. One ingredient, beef. Big difference. So I have a lot of issues. I have a lot of beef with a long-term vegan diet. If you are going to do a vegan diet, I wouldn't recommend it long-term. I would be really strategic with my supplementation. I would make sure I'm getting my B vitamins and getting lab work done. And look, I used to be a vegan. I've been there. I've done that. I was fooled by the propaganda and these documentaries and the China study book and all these books. Back when I didn't understand how to read and decipher studies and I didn't understand propaganda and agendas. That was in 2012. and my health took a hit. I was a vegan for a year and a half, plant-based, strict vegan for a year and a half, and that was not a good idea. Now, I'm not opposed to doing 30 days of a vegan diet, 60 days of a vegan diet. Variation is the key. But longer than that, problematic for many, many people. Hey, Marco from the Netherlands here. What are your thoughts about dry fasting? Okay, let's talk about dry fasting. Dry fasting is very extreme, so take caution. You got to be a seasoned faster to do this. There's two types of dry fasting, and I have some videos on my Keto Kamp YouTube channel about this. There is two types of dry fasting. There's something called a hard dry fast and then a soft dry fast. A hard dry fast is very extreme. Obviously, you're not eating food, but you're also not drinking water, and you're not brushing your teeth. You're not taking a shower. You're not washing your hands. You're not going out in the rain. No contact with water on your skin, because if there is contact with water on your skin, your innate intelligence will absorb that water, put it into your cells for a little bit of some hydration. So a hard dry fast means no contact with water. Soft dry fast is still extreme, but just not as extreme. It means no food, no drinking water, but you could take a shower, you could wash your hands, you could brush your teeth. Why would you want to do any of these dry fast techniques? Well, I mean, there is something to be said about it, and I'm not against it, but you got to know what you're doing, and you got to work with somebody. I personally done a 24-hour water fast. If you practice Ramadan or know somebody who practices Ramadan like my mom does every year, for 30 days in a row, once a year, they don't eat or drink. They practice dry fasting from sunrise to sunset, which is 12 hours or so for 30 days. Now, when you put the body in this really extreme state of no food, no water, like it really activates the innate intelligence, and it makes the innate intelligence pay attention. And the innate intelligence, the innate intelligence starts to think, whoa, we're going through an extreme famine with no food and water. Let's really crush and get cells out of the body that are inflamed, that are senescent, that are not working well. So you get this maximum, we get more autophagy, I should say, which is cellular repair, and it crushes fat cells. Like if you really want to burn fat and get autophagy, a dry fast can achieve that, but it's extreme. You got to know what you're doing. You got to be a seasoned vet. So I would not recommend dry fasting for the average person, but I personally experiment with it, and it's been hypothesized. There's no research to back this up, but it's been hypothesized that you could get 3 times the autophagy with a dry fast versus a water fast. So just to recap, what is autophagy? The definition of autophagy, at least the Greek definition of autophagy, is eat thyself. Okay, this is your body's way of turning on a process to get rid of damaged cells, to clean out the junk, kind of like throwing out expired groceries from your refrigerator. We want that. This is beneficial. You could get this from exercise as well, but fasting is a great way to do this. It's been hypothesized that you can get 3 times the autophagy with a dry fast versus a water fast, meaning a 24-hour dry fast could be equivalent in terms of the autophagy you want to achieve, could be equivalent to a 3-day water fast. But take caution. I'm not recommending it. This is not medical advice. Work with somebody. If you want to join our academy, we could teach you how to do this the right way. But that's how you do it. Hey, Dior, good to see your face on here. Okay, let's continue to your questions. I'm going to go now to YouTube, and then I'll go to Facebook, and then I'll go to the Tiki-Taki. So here we go. I see Stacy in Montana. I see Melissa saying, I've lost 90 pounds on intermittent fasting and keto. Melissa, congratulations. But I'm stable now with bags of skin. How can I help? How can keto help my back? So you have excess skin from your amazing weight loss. Got it. When I lost 80 pounds in 2008, I had a lot of excess skin. So here's the cool thing. The body's very adaptable. Your skin is very adaptable. And over time, months to sometimes years, the skin will adapt. But what can you do to accelerate that adaptation, right? If anybody's struggling with loose skin after weight loss, I'm going to give you some tips here to maximize that adaptation process for firm skin. Number one, most important thing you can do is to strength train. Add some lean muscle, which will make that skin firm. first step. Second step is autophagy and intermittent fasting strategies. Third step is going to be increase protein and collagen. Fourth step is going to be avoid vegetable oils, seed oils, avoid fish oil. And fifth step, I'll just throw this into the mix, get quality sleep because you want to repair from those workouts you're going to start doing. So that's how you do it. And it can be done. I see Health Hollow in Tennessee. I see, let's see who else we have here. Reza. I see Jimmy in Chicago. Reza is in London saying, Ben, I recall you mentioned it's best to avoid almonds on keto, but my keto-friendly items like keto breads are made with almond flour. Do I need to eliminate these and why? It's going to be dependent on the health of your digestive system. Most people will benefit by getting rid of almonds, almond flours, or at the very least, minimizing them. And the reason I say that is because almonds and spinach, which are both healthy and keto-friendly, almonds and spinach both contain high amounts of oxalates. Oxalates are anti-nutrients. They're like tiny little needles. I spoke about them in my book, Keto Flex. They're like tiny little needles that poke holes in your gut, leading to leaky gut. And if you already have leaky gut, it could just exacerbate, is that the word? Exacerbate those symptoms. So we recommend, doing an experiment, seeing how you do with almonds and etc. But the answer is maybe you got to avoid them or limit them. Maybe you do fine with them, but that's it. Hey, Buzz and Bruce, my friends in Flagler Beach. I love you too. Great hanging with you at many conferences this year. I love Buzz and Bruce. Y'all are amazing. Y'all are so committed. You go to all these conferences. I'm so impressed. I love the commitment. Hey, Monica in the Bahamas. Good to see you. Nareda says, chelation therapy effective for cellular detox. Not a fan of chelation therapy. It could have a lot of side effects. The only way that you could truly detox toxins out of your bone and tissues is the way that I learned it from Dr. Pompa. It's the only way. I know I'm biased when I say that, but I've researched all the other detox programs. I've researched all other detox methods, including chelation therapy. Nothing comes close to how comprehensive this program is to do it the right way. We don't want to even just jump into detox. We prepare your body for detox. We open up downstream detox pathways, and then we begin detox cyclically. We use binders. We use fat-soluble vitamins to get into the brain. Very comprehensive. So wouldn't recommend that. Speaking of which, in about 5 days, no, in 6 days, on September 6th, which is a day after my birthday. My birthday is actually this Monday, September 5th. But on September 6th, we're launching our next detox group. We ended up putting these groups into 2 different groups to make them smaller, meaning more intimate. So there's 15 people in this next group, and there's 2 spots left for it. If you want to learn how to detox the right way, if you want to work with me and get 4 60-minute group coaching calls with me and the other members, only 15 of us, all of the supplements, all of the testing kits, video access to videos on detox from Dr. Mindy Pels and Dr. Pompa and others, head over to ketokampdetox.com. 2 spots left. That'll be filled before Tuesday. Coach Becky's joining this program. She's already signed up for it. Coach Alina's already signed up for it, and several others. So, hey, I'd love to teach you detox. Detox, at least real detox, is the #1 needle mover for your health. When you do this the right way, keto works better, fasting works better, your brain turns on, you break through weight loss resistance. So ketokampdetox.com to learn more. Melissa says, how do you know if one is having an insulin spike? You test, and if your glucose shoots up and then shoots down, that's a result of insulin spiking and dropping down glucose. Tracy, hey, my opinion on juicing is that I'm not a big fan of juicing. I'm okay with eating the whole fruit, but I tend to stay away from juices and juicing in general. That's a hard sentence to say. Juicing and juices in general. Say that 5 times fast. Juices and juicing in general. Juices and juicing in general. Juices and juicing in general. All right, let's continue here before I drive you all nuts. I'm going to get to a few more here. Tim says, oops, Hey, good afternoon, Ben. Getting ready to try BBBE for a month of September. Just finding support that I need from different groups. BBE, bacon, butter, and eggs. What is that? Somebody knows the answer to BBBE. Something like that. Bacon, butter, eggs. Bacon, butter. Anyways, tell me what that is on the chat box. Yeah, Diana, you're signed up for it. You're good to go. We got your registration. So please email Alina, did you speak with Diana? You're good to go. We sent you the access. Please email us support@ketokamp.com. Bacon, butter, beef, and eggs. There you go. Thank you. That was an easy one. So thank you so much for that. Diana, yeah, email us support@ketokamp.com. You're good to go. We also have shipped out your supplements to you and given you access to the Zoom call and the portal. So you should have gotten all of that info. So email us support. Okay. Alina says, yeah, you're good. So no worries. No need to stress. You're good. All right. Let's continue to bacon, butter, and beef. I think that's a great protocol short term. I wouldn't do it long term. The name of the game is to mix things up. And this is a good way to mix things up. So I'm not opposed to it. Let me know how it goes for you, Tim. Okay, I'm going into you Facebook, and then I'll go to TikTok. Andrea in Puerto Rico. Hello. Tony says keto 2 years went from. Are you saying you lost 269 pounds in 22 months? Is that what you're saying? That's amazing. Big Bad Ben, Hot Chili Peppers in the house. Hey, Chris. Yeah, I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers last night with my fiance Natasha. What a great show. Anthony Kiedis, the lead singer, is 59 years old, and that man is ripped. He's got amazing energy. The whole band has amazing energy. They're one of my all-time favorite bands, and that was my first time seeing them. They're awesome. Although I did get home late last night, which is not good, but it was worth it. Jennifer says, good morning from Los Angeles. Quick question. I heard drinking a tablespoon of olive oil has great health benefits. Any thoughts? Yeah, olive oil is great. However, you want to make sure it is organic, cold pressed in a glass, dark bottle olive oil. And here's how you know if your olive oil is good or if your olive oil is rancid and oxidized. Everybody do this test later. You go and grab the olive oil in your kitchen. You take a shot of the olive oil and you wait to see what happens. If it just goes down smooth and you don't really feel anything, that's a red flag that this olive oil is either cut with something else, it's old, it's expired, it's oxidized, it's not a high quality olive oil. What we want to see and experience is taking a shot of your olive oil. You want that olive oil to burn your tongue, burn your throat, make your tongue fuzzy, and maybe even make you cough. That's like a good sign. That olive oil is loaded with oleocanthols, polyphenols, and antioxidants. So I love olive oil. Dr. Gundry always says, the only reason we have food is to deliver olive oil into your body. That's how much he loves olive oil. Olive oil is terrific. I love it very, very much. Hey, Carol in Park City. I was just there last month. The coffee left the stains in my teeth. That's why I stopped Bulletproof coffee. Just brush your teeth right after. That's what you can do. I don't really have Bulletproof coffee. I have not a typical Bulletproof coffee. I usually have, and this is my morning coffee. Actually, all I put today in here is just raw heavy cream with black coffee and raw heavy cream. That's it. I like to mix things up. I know seed oils are the devil, but what about tahini, sesame seed? I found a recipe. Those are okay as long as you're not heating it, Chris, and as long as they're organic cold press. Totally fine. Olive oil spray, I don't approve of that. Go with the actual olive oil. Boron is great, Jason. There's some research that shows boron. Now, boron doesn't necessarily increase testosterone, but it helps to increase free testosterone, meaning the testosterone you already have, taking boron could potentially make that more bioavailable, which is what you want. So boron could be great. So can shilajit, I'm not cursing at you. That's actually an ingredient, Shilajit, and a few other things out there. There is a product that I use. There's a couple of products that I use for testosterone. One is called Afro D. If you want to email me, support@ketokamp.com, I can get you a link for that. And then M Plus from Systemic Formulas. That one you can find over at ketokampsupplements.com. Yep, papaya breaks a fast because it will raise glucose and insulin. And will eating papaya daily help with weight loss? I don't think so. I would focus more on getting into ketosis and intermittent fasting and sleep. Hey, thank you for all the birthday wishes. Y'all are amazing. Blending veggies is better than blending fruit. You could substitute almond flour with coconut flour. Yes. Andrea says, now down 105 pounds in 8 months. Keto intermittent fasting, exercise, water fasting 2 to 3 times a week. Andrea, congratulations. You're awesome. That is so awesome. Let's continue with some TikTok. Extra virgin olive oil never for cooking at high heat, correct? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If it's real olive oil loaded with polyphenols, organic, cold pressed, you could actually cook at high temperatures with that, because there's a study that came out. I made a YouTube video about this, that the antioxidants actually protects it. Even though it has a low smoke point, the antioxidants are protective. Now, in general, you don't want to cook at high heat and have things smoke all the time, but I wouldn't be afraid of real cold pressed organic olive oil for cooking. There's something else that we want to look at called polar compounds. That's what really is bad for you. And olive oil actually scored low on the polar compound effect. Coach E, good to see you. Hey, for those on TikTok, go follow Coach E. He's a great friend of mine. He's doing great work. His handle is right there. It's Coach E. So Keto Coach E. Keto Coach and the letter E. Go follow him. He's awesome. High blood pressure. There was a couple questions that came in about high blood pressure. So the number one cause. Let me ask you this question. Let me see how smart you are, and just guess if you don't know the answer. What do you think the number one contributor is to high blood pressure? What do you think the number one contributor is to high blood pressure? What is it? What do you think the number one contributor is to high blood pressure? Now, that's a common answer, salts, but it's not salt. Inflammation is correct, but I'm looking for something specifically that's causing the inflammation. So something before that. Weight, not necessarily. I see stress. Hey, Rose, good to see you on here. I hope you're doing better, by the way, Rose. Can't wait to get you back into our family. Not necessarily stress, not necessarily cortisol, although that could be tied into it, but there's something else I'm looking for. Not necessarily smoking, although that can contribute to it. There's something else I'm looking for. Okay, I see the answer here. Dim colic. You got it. And probably some others that I missed, but high insulin levels. High insulin levels. Think of it this way. If you're taking notes, or even better, put this in the chat box right now. High insulin, high blood pressure. High insulin, high blood pressure. High insulin levels are the root cause, the most common contributing factor to high insulin, to high blood pressure. That is correct. That is correct. Now, number one contributor to high blood pressure is stress. Well, stress could raise insulin, but I'm looking for more of like just chronically high insulin levels, Gail. So you're all are right, and you're all super smart. Great answers, but I'm looking for insulin. So if we know that insulin is a driver, or I should say high insulin levels is a driver for high blood pressure, and you said it, Chris, then we could work on the cause, okay? Versus you going to your doctor taking your blood pressure being elevated, and your doctor giving you a prescription for your blood pressure. Can you see what's wrong with that picture? Doctor, my blood pressure is high. What can I do? So we got a pill for that, a pill for every ill. We could drive down those numbers, and it will work short term. But are they getting to the cause? Are they trying to figure out why the blood pressure is high? What if the doctor would have gotten a journal and said, hey, why don't you write down what you eat for a week? And this person writes down they have about 300 to 400 grams of carbs per day. They're snacking in between their meals. They're eating several times a day. Insulin spike, insulin spike, insulin spike. Well, if we figure that out, then instead of just writing a prescription for a pill, we tell that person, okay, let's work on dropping your carbohydrates because carbs spike glucose and insulin the most. Let's work on eliminating the snacking because every time you snack, you raise insulin. You see, we want to get to the cause. Here's the sad truth. A cured patient is a lost customer, okay? A cured patient is a lost customer. Write that down in the chat box. We're all on the same page. A cured patient is a lost customer. Conventional medicine is not healthcare. Conventional medicine is sick care, okay? They don't want you dead. They want you very unhealthy for a long period of time so you could be on their medications, surgeries, shots, etc. But we have a different mindset here at Keto Kamp, don't we? We understand cause and effect. We are what Einstein called us geniuses because intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them. So what can we do about high blood pressure? We want to lower your insulin levels, aka a keto-friendly diet, aka intermittent fasting, aka quality sleep, aka strength training. So there's so many ways to do it. That's how you do it. And I'm not telling you to get off your meds. That's not what I'm saying. You work with your doctor as you make these changes to lower the dosage and then wean yourself off. We've had several students in our Keto Kamp Academy program that have enrolled. We teach them this information. We coach them. We hold them accountable. And they work with their doctor to get off their blood pressure meds, to get off their insulin, to get off their metformin. It can be done. We see it all the time. And I see all your comments. Thank you for that. I love it, Gloria. Yep. Gloria, you're correct. And Dennis, thank you for that. High HDL. Oh, I see it here. I got my lab results and my HDL, I have high LDL level. Should I be worried and stop doing keto? Like Gloria said, she's giving you good advice. You want to make sure you're not just looking at LDL. You're not just looking at total cholesterol. You want to look at the full picture. For the sake of time, because we're already 33 minutes in, what I would recommend to you is to go on my YouTube channel. You're already on my YouTube channel because you're on the live stream, but go when we're done here, go on my actual channel. And in the search bar, type in cholesterol and watch all the videos I have on cholesterol. We talk about what lab markers to get, what are the optimal ranges, and why. It's a whole picture we want to look at, not just LDL or total cholesterol. And I think that'll make a lot of sense for you. So go check that out. Pancreatitis, again, for humans, different than animals, by the way, but too much insulin, too many carbohydrates, keto, intermittent fasting, autophagy fasting, pull out some fat from the pancreas. Those are things you can do. I would recommend if you have pancreatitis, look at the health of your liver as well. Get ALT, AST, get some scans done. That's also important. Can I take my high blood pressure meds every other day? I cannot answer that for you. I will not answer that for you. I'm sorry. Speak with your doctor on that. Make some dietary or make some lifestyle changes and go to your doctor and say, hey, look, I made all these changes. I'm getting better. Can we work on, weaning myself off, or ask your doctor if taking it every other day? That's something for your doctor to give you, whoever prescribed that. That's the person you want to ask. Have a great Labor Day birthday. Yeah, it's a Labor Day birthday. It's going to be fun. A book I just read encourages macro counting. I hate counting. How important is macro counting? So calorie counting is not important. Macro counting is different, and there's a time and place for it, especially in the beginning, so you can understand if you're eating, your carbs are low enough to get into ketosis, and then if you want to track protein, that could be a useful tool. But with that being said, on the priority list of you getting amazing results, macro counting is at the bottom. Calorie counting is at the very, very bottom. Look, if you're following somebody, or you're reading a book, or you follow somebody on TikTok or somebody on Instagram, or it's your doctor or your dietitian or nutritionist, and that person is telling you, let's count calories, Let's work on exercising more and eating less. Let's put you in a deficit. And they're using a lot of energy and attention teaching you about calorie counting. Run as fast as possible away from this person. Unfollow them, unsubscribe to them. I'm not saying they want to do you harm. What I am saying is that they are very confused. And I've been there myself. It doesn't work. Calories matter. They're not important. It's a distraction. It doesn't work. Okay. The problem with calorie counting is that when people start doing it, they get, like to your point, great results in the beginning. It works in the beginning, but over time, you wreck your metabolism, you gain the weight back, and then it makes it even harder to lose that weight. It is a failure, an absolute failure. The human body is not a calculator. The human body is not a math equation. The human body is not a bank account. Okay, the human body is a very beautiful, magnificent, complex chemistry lab. It is about hormones, cell metabolism, the metabolic response from calories, not the total amount of calories. So for example, when you do keto, you create more mitochondria, which increases your metabolic rate. How does that factor into how many calories you're eating? It doesn't. It's just a whole bunch of distractions and nonsense. And if you want to learn more about that, I just released an interview this morning on my Keto Kamp podcast with Dr. Benjamin Bikman. This is the 6th time I've interviewed him, and we spoke all about the calories in versus calories out BS. So go listen to that. That video will be out on the YouTube channel tomorrow as well with Dr. Ben Bikman. By the way, if you missed my webinar, or not really a webinar, we'll call it a training. If you missed my 4 secrets to keto training that took place 2 days ago, it was incredible. The replay is available for you. You could watch it anytime. All you have to do is go to ketosismasterclass.com. Right there. The replay is available for you. Go to ketosismasterclass.com. If you're watching on TikTok, you can click my profile and click that. You could watch the replay. It was about 75 minutes. Make sure you're present, take notes, but I really took a deep dive into all things keto flexing, and you could watch the replay. It's available right now. ketosismasterclass.com. Don says, the sweet taste in my mouth from sugar alcohols cause an insulin response as the body expects sugar to come in. It can. This is called a cephalic response to insulin. It can, Don, for some people, but for some, it doesn't. So possibly, it's hard for me to tell you an absolute yes or no. You could always test your glucose and see if it drops just from having that. And that would mean you had a insulin response. Yeah, you were close. Sugar is high insulin, etc. Thank you, Savita. I love you too. My doctor says we are a greatest science experiment. Yeah, Melissa. Will this be uploaded to YouTube? Yeah, the replay, if you're watching this right now live, the replay will be up on my YouTube channel. So if you're watching on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, or Instagram, go to YouTube to watch the full replay if you missed anything, which is Keto Kamp, Kamp with the K on YouTube. I'm going to answer a couple more questions, and then we're going to wrap things up. I got a couple of interviews later I'm going to prepare for. One of them is with the founder of Four Sigmatic, Tiro. He has a new book coming out all about adaptogenic herbs, and I read the book. They gave me an advanced copy, and we're going to dive deep into that conversation today. And then I have Sarah Banta, who's a great practitioner in Newport Beach, California. We're going to talk about a lot of cool things. Great job in the masterclass last Monday. Thank you, Gail. It was great seeing you there. Okay, good question. So the Kung Fu Panda. There are people out there who have done keto for a while who still have the tendency to overeat. And for them, and unfortunately, calories matter. These people do not count calories or easily gain weight. So I hear what you're saying, but here's what I would do. If you've been doing keto for a while and you feel like you're still overeating and focusing on calories helps, I still think that's a distraction. Let's get to the root cause of number one. Why do you still feel hungry? Are you not having enough protein? Protein activates cholecystokinin, leptin, peptide YY, and a whole cascade of hormones and chemicals that tell your brain and stomach you're full. So you might want to increase your protein. Number two, are you doing keto for too long? We practice flexing. You might need some flexing. So you see how my approach is different than, okay, all right, if you're overeating, just, focus on calories. That'll keep you on point. It's bad advice. It's terrible advice. And look, I used to teach calorie counting for years. I did seminars and workshops at my gym that I used to own, my CrossFit gym. I did several of them. I used to call my workshops. This is like, 8 years ago, 2013. Yeah, 9 years ago. I used to call these workshops the science of fat loss. And I literally would tell people, if you want to lose weight, you just got to calculate your total daily energy expenditure, which is called your TDEE, your basal metabolic rate, which is the amount of calories you're burning if you just sat on the couch every single day. Get those numbers, create a deficit, and hit that deficit every single day with exercise. It was like, I taught this for years. And then I realized, man, it works at first, but then they're not getting long-term results, and they're not really focusing on cellular inflammation and hormones and the quality of food. So I made the decision to admit that I was wrong, and I stopped teaching the whole calories in versus calories out approach. And guess what? So many people in our space have gone through that same process that I went through, but nobody goes the other direction, at least not that I know of. Have you ever found somebody who is teaching cellular health, hormonal health, metabolism, and inflammation for health and weight loss, and then they decide to switch over to calorie counting because that's the better way? I've never came across one person that has gone from hormone health to calorie counting. I've only come across people who have gone the other direction, including myself. Calorie counting to hormone health. It doesn't work. And then you see the fitness people out there like Lane Norton and other people out there teaching calorie counting. Well, they're teaching that to their audience, which are bodybuilders and fitness competitors. Let me ask you this question. Everybody watching right now, tell me yes or no. How many of you are bodybuilders or fitness competitors? Yes or no? Tell me right now. Out of everybody watching, there's hundreds, probably thousands of you right now with the combined platforms we're streaming right now, and then all the replay watchers. How many of you watching right now, yes or no? How many of you are fitness competitors or bodybuilders? Okay. Javier's a bodybuilder. That's one. Okay. So for you, if you're a bodybuilder, the calorie counting thing is useful for you. But keep in mind, bodybuilding and having goals for bodybuilders is not it's not synonymous with health and longevity. Keep that in mind. So I see no, Alina, no, Ruth. I see no, Dr. Babak. Good to see you, my friend. I see no, Carlitzy. I see no, Mama Neely. I see no. I see not me. Nope. Black says nope. Melissa says nope. Kunal says me. Okay, so we have another one. So I would say nope. I would say the ratio here is about 95% of you are saying no. 5% are saying yes. So if you are a bodybuilder, if your goal is to put on a whole bunch of strength and performance and to compete in a show, hey, calorie counting could be very, very useful. But having goals to be a bodybuilder and having goals for fitness and performance and to compete, those goals are not synonymous with health and longevity. Okay? There's a lot of bodybuilders, there's a lot of CrossFit athletes that look amazing, but they're highly inflamed. Just look what happened the last 2.5 years since COVID started. Have you noticed a lot of these famous bodybuilders, a lot of these famous CrossFit athletes have gotten really sick and many of them have died from COVID? How does that happen? They're highly inflamed. They're overtraining. They look great, and I commend them and I applaud them for their amazing commitment, but it's not the same thing as health and longevity goals, okay? And look, I'm not putting down you, Javier, or anybody else who's doing bodybuilding. I think it's amazing. One of my close friends, Giancarlo, does it, but just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Hope this was useful. Please go subscribe to my Keto Kamp podcast, which is on all podcast platforms. We are about to hit 3 million downloads. We have been awarded the Keto Podcast of the Year in 2022, and we have listeners from 111 countries, which is super cool. Keto Kamp on all podcast platforms, and then Keto Kamp YouTube channel at the Ben Azadi on Instagram and TikTok. And go subscribe and watch my replay for my Keto Masterclass, where I revealed 4 secrets to mastering keto. You can watch the replay over at ketosismasterclass.com. If I missed your question, I apologize. I'll get to it next Wednesday, because every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern time, I'm live with you. If you want to learn more about my 4-pillar approach and what we teach in the Keto Kamp Academy, the structure and some details on that, we are going to be taking a small group through 90 days of teaching this to really hold you accountable, coach you, and maximize your results. For those who are really committed and want me to be your coach and want Becky and Alina and Coach John to help you, what I'd like for you to do is just to message me on Instagram with the word energy. That's it. Just direct message me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at the Ben Azadi. You can see it right there at the bottom of the screen, at the Ben Azadi on Instagram. And just message me with the word energy on there, and I'll give you some details. We'll see if it's a good fit. Love you too, Gloria. Love you all. Appreciate you all. I've got a lot of vitamin G gratitude for every single one of you. Thanks for joining today. And Becky and Alina, thanks for helping out. Talk to you all soon.